Unemployment is one of the biggest challenges India is facing at present. Lack of industry-ready skills, vocational training, and technical know-how aggravate this situation even more. The India at 100 series aims to present innovative solutions for India's major sustainable development challenges. Presented by DCM Shriram Foundation with knowledge partner the Indian School of Development Management, this show will look at the key issues as well as solutions for it. So let's take a look.
Demand for skilled professionals is exponentially rising in India, whereas data suggests that only 2.3% of the country's workforce possesses formal vocational skills. This accounts for the gap between job vacancies and available skill sets in the country, resulting in a rising unemployment rate. It is projected that 75% of the jobs in India will be skill-based by 2025, so the focus on creating a workforce that is ready to meet industry demands becomes important. Let's understand from the experts on why there is an urgent need to actively tackle this issue.
Hello everybody, my name is Ravi Sreedharan. I'm one of the co-founders of the Indian School of Development Management. Today we're here to talk about a very important challenge for the country to address. The new education policy that was recently drafted has brought a huge focus to this important aspect of vocational education for students. And we have with us one of the best people to talk about this. We have with us Mr. Raj Gilda, who is the co-founder and CEO of Lend a Hand India. Raj, could you start by telling us the importance of the scale at which work needs to be done and the criticality of vocational education or skilling?
Thank you, Ravi. So today in India, if you are earning, say, 25,000 rupees a month, you are amongst the top 10% of the income category of India. CMI data has shown that addition of each level of education is adding 5% of unemployment. You'll be surprised to know that the unemployment rate is lowest if you are just primary educated. It is between 0 to 5%. And it is the highest at the graduate level, between 15 to 20%. So there's something wrong with this picture, that the more educated you are, the more unemployed you are.
Raj, just listening to the numbers, obviously this is such a complex task being done at a huge scale. Such things very often require work being done at multiple levels in multiple aspects. Could you give us a sense of what are the big pieces of work that need to be addressed in the space of skilling?
What is needed to actually make people aware about what kind of careers are there, making them aware what sort of opportunities lies in future, making them aware that it's not that the girls can only do beauty parlor and food processing and boys have to do welding only, but even each other genders can also work on similar trades and otherwise too. Look at the government policies, look at how they can be implemented, look at how vocational education can be introduced in the school education. And that will involve managing the external stakeholders like employers, managing parents who are the big decision maker in any initiatives sort of like this, managing the students themselves because they have their own aspirations, they have their own desires as well, and how do we marry them with the reality.
One last question, Raj. Very often while working on social issues, mindsets, normatives in society that exist over decades sometimes are big things to sort of address. What might be some mindsets that you believe are critical for us?
I'm glad, Ravi, you asked this question because as we speak about vocational education, dignity of labor becomes very, very critical. We always say that the vocational education is for my maid's son, maid's daughter, but not for my son or daughter, right? So unless we are able to solve that, then and introducing vocational education in the school where we're exposing students to a variety of skills will bringing that liking for doing things with your hand, do it yourself, the DIY culture and otherwise too. And even if you don't make a career, say in welding, you will respect a welder for what he or she is because you'll know how hard it is to do welding in the first place. So I think addressing this mindset about the dignity of labor. And secondly, the gender bias which we have, which I mentioned earlier, that girls can only do particular trades, and they cannot be, say, CNC machine operators, that they cannot be electrical engineers, or they cannot be looking at other aspects or other mainly dominated by, say, finance as a field. So I think those kind of biases also need to be addressed as we look at the vocational education in the school.
Thank you, Raj, for being with us today. And now the following video takes us directly to the heart of action, showcasing the remarkable work that's making a difference.
Lend a Hand India has partnered with different state governments and stakeholders within the vocational education ecosystem and consistently worked towards integrating vocational education with mainstream education for students of grade 9 to 12. There are multiple programs that ensure systemic changes and support the integration of skill development in the curriculum. Project Catalyst is one such program in partnership with the state governments to support the formulation of policies for vocational education as well as support the execution and implementation. Under Multi-Skill Foundation course in schools, foundation-level training is provided in a variety of skills, right from baking, healthcare, electrical wiring and gardening to the students in grade 9 and 10. Thus, the students get exposure in multiple skills and understand the application of theoretical learning to real life. During grades 11 and 12, students specialize in a skill of their choice. The internship program Pathways for students of grade 11 and 12 goes one step further and provides the students an introduction to the world of work. Under this program, students get to intern in auto workshops, retail shops, restaurants, etc.
मायक्रो इरिगेशन सिस्टीम या ह्याच्यामध्ये मी इंटर्नशिप केलेली आहे. मी 11वी-12वी हे 2 वर्ष हा कोर्स केलेला आहे. तर मी विमाननगर येथे एन प्लांट नर्सरी ह्याच्यामध्ये नर्सरीमध्ये मी माझी इंटर्नशिप केलेली आहे. तर त्या इंटर्नशिपमध्ये मी टाईम मॅनेजमेंट किंवा बिल कसं करायचं आणि नाही का हे परत येणाऱ्या कस्टमरशी आपण कसं बोललं पाहिजे किंवा काय, कारण ॲक्च्युली आता बाहेर गेल्यावर आपण इतरांशी कसं बोलायचं किंवा काही बोलायचं हे माहीत नसतं. त्यामुळे मी त्या इंटर्नशिपमधनं मी ते शिकले. मी खूप प्राऊड फील करते की नाही का मी जर आज मी हा विषय शिकते, ह्या विषयामुळे माझ्यामध्ये आज खूप नाही का ग्रो झालेला आहे. तर त्यामुळे नाही का मी जर आज एखाद्या करिअरमध्ये जर सक्सेसफुल नाही झाले तर मला एवढा कॉन्फिडन्स आहे की मी माझी नर्सरी ओपन करू शकते किंवा बागकाम मी सुरू करू शकते.
The Karigar School of Applied Learning is like the Disneyland of skills and showcases an ideal vocational training space which covers multiple skills including food processing, gardening and landscaping, engineering, carpentry and more. Young students or adults of all ages learn to work with hands and develop a do-it-yourself aptitude. Is a one-stop center for training trainers, an innovation lab and works as an incubator for budding entrepreneurs. So far, these secondary school skill education programs have been implemented in over 10,000 plus schools with more than 10 lakh students across India. The programs have opened more career options for women, helped youth identify their interests and developed entrepreneurial skills among the students.
One thing that I have learned is that driving sustainable change requires addressing challenges at 3 levels: technical challenges, systemic challenges, and socio-cultural challenges. If you take the example of skilling, there are changes to be made at all levels. While we work at these different levels, it is critical to recognize the importance to change attitudes and mindsets. In this case, dignity of labor. You can carry out all the technical changes and systemic changes, but if you do not change the attitude and belief systems related to labor and establish a strong sense of dignity of labor, nothing will change in the long run and things will go back to where it was.